Vandalism and cable theft are among the things slowing down Prasa's train services. Criminal syndicates are said to be behind this, which costs the railway service exorbitant amounts of money. Let's get more on this from Provincial Security Manager in Gauteng, that's Ronnie Khumalo. Mr. Khumalo, good morning and thank you very much for your time. You know, there's never been a more crucial time to fix the rail infrastructure than now, when people honestly need affordable transport alternatives. But before we get to your plans to curb cable theft, just give us a sense of the extent of the problem. How big is it?
Good morning. How are you, Mfundo?
I'm good, and you, Mr. Khumalo? You can go ahead.
I missed the question. Your voice is low. May you repeat what was your question?
All right, not a problem. Can you just give us a sense of the extent of the problem currently? I believe you'd be best placed to share this with us.
Yes. Thank you once more. The current challenges is that stand still or due to vandalism and theft. Theft and vandalism scanned our operation, meaning there is absolutely no movement, particularly in Gauteng, only on selected corridors that we rehabilitated recently, that we are finding some movement. As infrastructure theft and vandalism caused a total shutdown in many lines or corridors within Gauteng, also in Cape Town and in KZN. Compounding to the problem in KZN was the floods that affected us. But theft and vandalism is very rife. It goes also into other business operations like ESCOM and TFR. In Gauteng, particularly in the Egurulen area, we traversed on TFR lines. They are also affected, meaning in terms of trains, if we had 55 trains per line, we shall have only one set that is moving up and down, in the sense that we will be authorizing. So currently we are rehabilitating. During lockdown, our environment or infrastructure was completely destroyed. Infrastructure, I will refer to the overhead cable signal equipment. Currently, the criminals are finding it easy also to steal even our railway tracks. They bring along their machinery in relation to cutting torches, and as a result, they steal such. They become a syndicate. They are also armed during the process of their theft, and they are currently also invading our staging yard, where we stage our trains. We do have a big yard, which is Bramfontein, where we have seen a lot of criminals trying to assist themselves in harvesting our components.
Ronnie?
We are very lucky at Volmatin. Yes.
Pardon my ignorance here, and pardon me for just interjecting. Just for clarity, one would assume, an ordinary person could easily assume, that they can hardly be inconspicuous when doing this, that they would honestly be visible. It's a serious operation if one is to now go and take off the railway tracks. So where would security be at the time?
Thanks, it's a good question. Our environment is an open system. Being an open system, and it's kilometers and kilometers in relation to kilometer tracks, where we do not have security in totality. However, since the launch of a security plan in 2020, 18 September, Prasa has beefed its security in relation to human resource. However, we are envisaging in terms of integrated security. There are areas that are hotspots, in particularly closer to informal settlement. These particular areas have hardened criminals who come and shoot at our own staff, even during our own rehabilitation process, they would come heavily armed and attack our security guards. However, as I have said, that there are plans in place of a combination of external security and in-house security. We also enter into multidisciplinary tasks where ESCOM, Transnet, and SAPS in different divisions of SAPS are forming part in fighting crime. We have a copper cable theft teams teaming up, created by General Mawela of the commissioner in Gauteng. Yes, there are situations where we deploy and sometimes security desert their post, but that is an internal matter that we are handling. We are also trying to get some assistance in terms of technology that to assist us in augmenting the resource that we have.
All right.
But all in all, we do not have sufficient resource that covers all our deployment sites.
It clearly is a problem bigger than just security, but I like that you touched on a few heads of certain ministries. Are you looking or perhaps considering perhaps some sort of a multi-pronged approach with these ministries to say that this now needs to go beyond just security, but rather regulating the copper scrap metal industry, where businesses perhaps are offered licenses and even expected to conduct due diligence on the material they intend to purchase from sellers? Because really, this is a lucrative industry, the one of selling of the scrap material. There are those that are legitimate traders, of course, but nevertheless, are you looking or considering some of these options to deal with the problem at the source where the demand lies?
That's correct, Mfundo. What has happened is that our government has passed the Act, the Criminal Matters Amendment Act, Act 18 of 2015, seeking to address the issue of essential infrastructure.
Ronnie? Okay.
What has happened is that...
You can continue. We seem to have lost you there for a moment.
We have formed team operations, disruptive metal dealer. And what we do first, we repeat again, that projects our items. As a result, we then create teams that go around visiting these particular scrap metal dealers. Our principals are engaging the government in the sense that a lot of scrap metal dealers must be regulated. Yes, they are regulated, but they defy or deviate from the principles of good trading. So now the multidisciplinary teams are going around inspecting these particular premises in terms of conforming to the standards that are set in terms of the Criminal Matters Amendment Act. And also it goes beyond that in managing cases that once we arrest people, then we do case management, wherein we visit court and find the status of each and every case. This far, we're seeing a good spin-off in relation to the convictions of suspects, where suspects are getting conviction up from 10 years, 15 years, and so forth, depending on the value of the item they were found in possession or stealing. So yes, it's a complex issue because criminals find it easy to make easy money in relation to our infrastructure.
Okay, Ronnie, thank you very much for your time. That's Prasa's Provincial Security Manager in Gauteng, Ronnie Khumalo. More news on the